Hello guys, myself Pawan and you're watching Optimistic Coder, and in this video we will discuss OOPS concept. OOPS refers to object-oriented programming and it contains 5 important points. First is class and object, second is inheritance, third is encapsulation, fourth is polymorphism, and last is abstraction. So we will cover up all this topic in this video and understand the concept with real-world example. So before that, if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you get updated every time when I upload a new video. So let's start with the first one, class and object. Basically, class is called as blueprint and objects are referred to as a real-world entity. To understand it, let's take a small example. As we know that architect will design a blueprint for a house and civil engineer will construct a house with the help of that blueprint, which will be mentioned with what is the size of a room, structure of it, number of rooms, design and all about it. By this blueprint, civil engineer can build any number of house that he wants. In the same way, in programming, class is a blueprint which has variable and methods in it, and any number of objects can be created which will have all these features in it. That's why object is merely a collection of data and methods that act on those data. So if you have an object, that object's data will be manipulated, changed, or you can do any kind of stuff with the data with the help of the methods present in it. So let's move on to the next one, that is inheritance. So inheritance means the characteristic features, properties and behaviors will be acquired from parent to their offsprings. In the same way, in programming, inheritance is a mechanism through which one object can acquire all the property and behavior of parent object. So let's understand with the help of an example. Here we have class named as A and it can produce two different type of balloons. One is pink color and another one is a white color. This class is the parent class or the base class, and we have other three different classes named as B, C and D, where all these classes are child class of class A. So because of that, class B can produce the same object, that is pink balloon, by inheriting the properties from class A. And if class D needs to produce white color balloons, then it can inherit those properties from its parent class A. And if class C needs to produce any of these property, it can also produce or it can also acquire it through inheritance. But one point worth noting is whatever the properties that parent class is having can be easily acquired by the child class object, but even child class can also have its own property and features, like if class C can acquire the property of parent to produce pink color balloons, and even it can have some other properties to produce some different types or different colors of balloon. So what's the need of inheritance? To avoid code redundancy, a desired class is developed upon a base class to achieve code reusability. Because of this reason, inheritance plays an important role. So in brief, this is what inheritance in programming. So let's move on to the next one, that is encapsulation. So when we talk about encapsulation, it's like a capsule which is encapsulating all the medicines or drugs inside it. In the same way, variables and methods are encapsulated inside the class, and objects of that particular class can only access these variables and methods to change the data. No other objects from other class can come and change the data present inside the class. So why do we need encapsulation? Hence, encapsulation prevents access the data of by other class object. It eventually helps to improve the security. So let's talk about polymorphism. Polymorphism is the ability of a variable, function or objects to take on multiple forms. Overloading of function is achieved by the usage of polymorphism. Let's take an example and understand this concept. Now let's consider you take three different utensils of different shape and size and you pour water inside it. When you pour water, the water remains the same, but whenever you pour on different utensil, the water is going to take the shape exactly as the shape of utensil. In the same way, overloading of function also works the same. The name of the function doesn't change, but the parameters that are passed to the function will determine what will be the result or the outcome that we are going to get. The classical example of overloading of function is area, or finding area of different shapes. Now, if you are trying to find an area of rectangle and area of a circle, but instead of creating two different functions, you just create a single function name and pass on different parameters by which you could use the same function name and you could get different results as shown in the diagram. Now let's move on to the last and the most important one, the abstraction. So abstraction is a methodology of hiding the implementation details from the users and only provide the necessary one. Now this means that if you are using a mobile phone and you use WhatsApp or Facebook, any kind of Android application, you are only bothered about using those applications and you are not bothered about any of the background API calls or database connectivity or any kind of code. You are not at all bothered about it. You are simply interested in making a call, sending a chat message, or even posting your photos. You are not at all bothered about any of the background messages, background API calls, or any other further details or server calls, anything. So abstraction is going to hide all the implementation details from the end user. So in Java, we can achieve abstraction with the help of abstract class and interface. So that's all in this video, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to leave a comment below. I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.